I think that everything that we do that goes against the profit motive is an important form of resistance. Everything is being monetized, everything is being financialized. So everything that we do that is not to make money, whether it is to be with friends, to organize in our communities, to make a meal for people we love, all of these things are about reinforcing a sense of humanity. That doesn't necessarily change society on a large level, but I think that starting with these small notions that life is about more than just money, I think this is such an important thing that we've lost, especially with the professionalization of the arts. Everybody is trying to create a brand, everybody's trying to make a product, a commodity. So anything that you can do to pull life back from the market is important. Like, American art should not be influencing any other country because our art is terrible. Our politics are so focused on celebrity, so focused on money and professionalization that it seems really strange to me that that would be sort of hooked onto by political movements that are actually rooted in a sort of class system. So yeah, it's the opposite. I know that American culture is very contagious, and I know that also American culture is very insular, and that we don't like to claim solidarity with countries that are, with any country, basically. Because we perceive ourselves as being, even on the left, we perceive ourselves as being at the top of the hierarchy, and we don't want to claim solidarity in any way that would lower our position, even in perception, and I think that's a huge mistake in American politics. I think that people are curious about other people, right? And sometimes it's easier to listen to or digest complex ideas through another person's life than to just sort of read a manifesto. You know, the manifesto is this idea of how we should live, but what does that actually look like? So that, to me, was the reason why I was interested in writing this book, was because, you know, I do have these ideals, I do have these theories and this idea about how a life should be led and how a person should behave, but what does that look like in a society where you're constantly having to compromise? So to me, it was important to bring that aspect of it, of the individual, of the lived experience, and of the choices that we have to make every single day. I think that theory comes out of practice, not the other way around. But I do think that we have to have some sort of interruption, an intellectual interruption, a thought that comes between our sort of what is more comfortable or what comes easy to us, to have an idea or a thought that just sort of says, well, what if there's a possibility for doing something else? And I do think that that's what theory can provide. But theory that's not rooted in a lived experience is ultimately, I think, not very helpful, because if it's not a process of interaction, then it's just an idea that somebody had.